Before we hop into this week's episode of Cards and Talk, a word from our sponsors. The Everett Opera Sox, because of COVID-19 and the quarantine, are hosting a reading challenge where if you read for 25 minutes a day for 5 days for 6 weeks, you get free tickets. So you should be sure to do it. And if you want to correspond with me, I'll let you all know what game I'm going to, and we can try and meet up if you go to the same game. Check out the Everett Opera Sox on their Instagram page at Everett Opera Sox. Now, let's get into this week's episode of Cards and Talk. Hi, I'm your host, Justin Yobart, and this is the CNT Podcast. I hope you enjoy this week's episode, in which I'll be interviewing Cole Franklin, the Chicago Cubs' number 7 prospect.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
So, my first question is, did you collect baseball memorabilia as a kid?
I didn't really, honestly. My dad would keep signed balls around the house from when he was playing, but that was about it. I really didn't keep anything myself.
I personally collect a lot of memorabilia.
Nice. What do you collect?
I collect a lot of baseball. I have a ton of baseball cards, and then a few game-used items.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite one, I don't know if I can pick just one. Two of my favorite pieces is my Chris Bryant auto, since he's been my favorite player for a while.
Oh, yeah?
But I also like my Brennan Davis auto because he was the first player I interviewed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
So those are two of my favorites.
Really close friends.
Yeah.
Brennan's one of my roommates.
Yeah. So, if a kid were to send in a card for you to sign, would you sign it and send it back?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I try to do that because I know, I really try to do as best I can with that stuff because I know how it feels because I remember growing up, I was always fans, and I always looked at the other big players and stuff, and I was like, I'd never want to be like one of those guys who don't like sign stuff for people. So absolutely, I'd always do any type of signing.
Yeah, I always want to try and send TTMs out, but I'm never great at it.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah. So, another question I have is, who was your favorite team or player as you were growing up?
When I was growing up, I'd have to say either the Texas Rangers or the Cardinals. Texas just because they were really close to my hometown, and I always had one of my good players I liked watching was Ian Kinsler grow up because he was in my agency, my dad's agency, and so I always grew up knowing him. And the Cardinals because my uncle pitched 13 years for them.
Yeah, that's really cool. Just getting to be around some of your favorite players. That's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
it's really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. So, what was it like when you were drafted by the Cubs?
I mean, it was a dream come true. I mean, that's kind of what you dream about growing up when you're playing baseball. You always dream about getting the chance to play professionally. And so, when it first happened, I was very excited that they took a chance on me and gave me the opportunity to pursue my dreams.
Yeah, I really enjoyed. I was really happy when we were able to get you in the 6th round.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And so, I actually go to a lot of Opera Sox games because that's like around where I live. And when you were on the Emeralds, I was wanting to go to a game, but I just missed it because I went to like the series before you guys played them. And like I just missed it.
Yeah, that was my last start before I got called to South Bend this year.
Yeah.
In Everett.
One of my friends actually went to the game, or one of the games in that series. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I wanted to go, but
it was kind of cold out there.
Yeah. But I just wasn't able to get the timing quite right.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Yeah. So, What pitches do you throw, and usually how fast are they?
So I throw a fastball and changeup and curveball. And fastball is usually like 93, 95. My changeup's like 84, 86, and my curveball is like 77 to 80.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah, just trying to get better every day.
So based on you always wanting to get better, how are you continuing to work to get better with being quarantined because of COVID-19?
So I've been playing catch my street, like long toss, like around the block out here in my neighborhood, and then the Cubs sent us like a body weight lift that we can do, and so I've been doing those as much as I can. So pretty much just doing as much as I can at home.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish that it wasn't have to be like this and that we could just be playing and watching baseball.
Oh, absolutely. I wish I could be playing too.
Yeah.
This stuff sucks.
So, what's your main motivation when you're playing and as you try and get called up to the major leagues?
My main motivation,
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know, growing up, I was never taught to be average. And so I've never wanted to just be like have an average life. I've wanted to be able to do what I want and like when I can. So I've always strived to be the best I can as a player, just so I can have some of that freedom, growing up. And kind of I've always worked to never just kind of fit in. I've always wanted to be like the best player.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much what keeps me going.
Yeah, that's a pretty good motivation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, what is your favorite part of baseball in general?
I would say the feeling I get when I'm on the mound. I would say it's more of it's almost like a high. Honestly, it's like you get on the mound and you don't feel like the same person. Like sometimes I feel like a totally different person on the mound, and I think that's what helps me though. You have to have a killer mentality when you're on the mound and make sure no one takes anything from you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was never really a pitcher when I played, but when I was in like left field is where I played, like I just felt more at home than I usually do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I've seen that you wore number 46 with the South Bend Cubs lately, but is that your preferred number? Or
No. So that's the number I kind of got because when you get called up, you don't really get to pick a number. You kind of get the number that they give you.
Yeah. So what is your preferred number?
Growing up, I was always 23 or 9. So 23 is kind of just like a family number, and 9 is because my birthday is 9/9/99.
That's pretty cool. My favorite number is 99, and so yeah, I like to wear 99 a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. That is dope.
Yeah. So do you have any pre-game, mid-game, or post-game rituals you do?
I'd say pre-game. I just like listen to a lot of music. I really don't. On the days I start about 2.5 hours before the game, I kind of just put my music in and I really don't talk to anybody. I'm kind of a loner on my starts because I just have to get in my zone. So I'd say just listen to a lot of music. I don't really have any absolute rituals.
Yeah, I get that. So what kind of music do you listen to before games?
I listen to a lot of rap music.
Yeah. That's cool.
So that's what just helps me.
So I'm a pretty big baseball card collector. Like, what was it like when you saw your first baseball card?
It was really cool. It's kind of just another stepping stone, like to where I want to be eventually. But like seeing your first professional baseball card's awesome. It's just kind of like a little collector's item for you in your head too, kind of just showing you how far you've came. And so I really liked being able to see one, but it doesn't mean much.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool, but the biggest thing is just to never settle for me.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, The first card, was it a Bowman, or like what brand of card first reached out and made a card?
Oh, I have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
Oh,
I do
okay.
not know the brand of it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So, your estimated time of arrival is 2022. Do you think that's accurate, or do you think you could get called up sooner than that?
That's hard to. I don't know. It's kind of a hard question to answer because I mean, it's kind of all based on. There's so many different things that go into when you get called up, as in like, are you ready? Like, is there a spot for you? It's totally different. So I never really look at that and think about that's the time I'm gonna be in the big leagues. Like I still have to go out and perform every day. So I don't really know. I don't really know how to answer that question just because of the fact that I feel like there's so many different things that go into it besides just pitching and stuff.
Yeah, makes sense. So, thank you for coming on the podcast. It means a lot, and maybe I'll get you on another time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Bye.
See ya.
Big thanks to Cole Franklin again for coming on the podcast. Make sure to follow his career. Thanks for watching. Bye.